A fashion designer's impact goes beyond the runway. They change the way we look at ourselves and those around us. Video fashion designers chronicles their past successes and follows their evolution into the 21st century. For more than 40 years, Ralph Lauren has been meticulously creating a brand that has come to symbolize American elegance.
It's about not the kind of clothes that you only wear once in your life. It's about clothes that you live in and enjoy, that become your favorites, and that you have them in your closet and you don't ever want to get rid of them. That's the kind of clothes that I design.
He is the American dream. He started making ties and ends up with an empire.
Ralph Lauren has really, truly personified what's possible in America. He's kind of created an American dream through his clothing and through all of his designs for home and a whole lifestyle.
He's short. He's very short. You're short. And short people, it's tough for us to find, I can wear his suit. I don't know, but you know what I mean.
So are you wearing Ralph now?
Yes. And I didn't have to shorten it.
He has shaped the way people dress as well as the way they live. Whether it's the polo grounds of the Hamptons or the sandy trails of Santa Fe, Lauren's true talent lies not only in seeing a niche and filling it, but also in crafting a desire for a lifestyle and selling the wardrobe to match.
Ralph Lauren is a master at branding. He created a world everybody wanted to go into.
I started doing menswear, and then I started to do women's wear, and then I started to do children, and then I started to do home, and then I started to do sport, and then I opened stores.
Today, with nearly 400 stores, Ralph Lauren's vision of the American dream has worldwide impact. In the 21st century, Lauren's multi-billion-dollar empire continues to grow due to his iconic aesthetic, making him a global fashion superpower.
I think a good designer is an individual. He doesn't want to look like anybody else. My job is not to look at what they're doing in Europe or what they're doing here. I've got to do what Ralph Lauren is.
I think you're here to make a statement as to who you are. Having a show is like, it actually takes around 9 months to buy fabric and start to put it together. So it's not like having a baby, but I wouldn't know.
For fall 2000, Ralph Lauren did what he does best, which meant a polished synergy of sumptuous fabrications and classics, which underscored a subtle romance.
The collection is the key to everything I do, so I spend a lot of time on collection and go to Europe and buy fabrics, and plan the concept of the line and when it comes in. So I'm very, very, very involved.
Each outfit was amazing on their own, but when you get the whole look and the whole feeling, I think it really tells the complete story.
I have 4 looks, so they're all very different. I have like a crocodile snake skirt with boots and a sweater.
I think what's been interesting this year particularly is the mix of tweeds and metallic fabrics like gold and tweeds and sweaters. It's the mix of fabrics that I think is interesting this year. I believe the clothes were about living and home and where you go to dine and where you vacation are about living. It's not about that jacket or that shirt. If you were going to go downtown or go to a rock concert, you're going to be wearing something else to go to the rock concert.
I'm very proud. I thought it was amazing, and I could feel the energy from my dad and from the models and from the people in the audience.
It was a male pilgrimage that included New York's Mayor Bloomberg and Jerry Seinfeld. Ralph Lauren's menswear was about to hit the runway for the first time in over 30 years, and the faithful watched with reverence.
Yeah, it was nice to see his menswear back on the runway after something like 3 decades.
It was well worth the wait. Lauren made up for his time away from the runway by showing his male clientele looks from his diverse labels including polo and both his purple and black collections. Clearly, Lauren knows that his customer leads a multifaceted life.
It's interesting because it's such a brand and it's such a set-in-stone kind of vision, but he really showed the breadth of it, from his preppy sensibility to his Western interests to the very boardroom sort of hedge fund manager kind of guy. And for me, it was a really interesting expression of that. Also, it was a little bit of fantasy. You know, a lot of the pieces could look a bit like costume if you sort of took them individually. But I thought all together, it was a wonderful way of sort of encouraging men to indulge a little bit in the fantasy of dressing up and being all these kind of iconic characters, and to really take pleasure in having that kind of fun with their wardrobe.
And with one of the world's not only funniest, but also best dressed, spreading the word, Lauren was right on target.
Loved it. Loved it. Fantastic.
Hopefully, Mr. Lauren won't deny us the pleasure of his menswear show for another 3 decades. Ralph Lauren, the master of seamlessly crafted American elegance, presented his vision of a perfect summer to his A-list audience.
I can see the women I love in those clothes. You know, my 2 daughters are here and my wife, and so that's how I look at them.
I thought Ralph Lauren was a fantastic collection for Ralph. I love that he stuck with a palette that was black, white, into gold and silver and metals. I mean, it was very clear. It was a very precise statement, as he always does. But I think this season, I mean, it was handled particularly well. I like that he broke up the looks and he used different proportions and layering, which is a kind of a rare thing for him. It seemed really spot on, really American and clean and beautiful.
Ralph was quintessentially Ralph. In the past few seasons, he has been a bit more daring. This season, he went back to the essence that is Ralph. I love the way he layered a menswear vest over menswear pants and then put this fabulous Japanese-inspired kimono kaftan over it. I think that was just really eclectic and a beautiful interpretation of sportswear, mixing with something very elegant that we expect from Ralph. But what I think was most outstanding at Ralph, where he just set the bar so high, was his metallics. We've seen metallics as an important touch all over the runways for spring, but Ralph did it better than anybody, I believe.
I thought that was a very beautiful collection. He was thinking of kind of taking us on some glamorous holiday somewhere. I love the way he used that kind of very 20s, 30s, sort of almost washed, distressed, antique-y looking lame. Taken kind of the idea of a flapper dress, but used it for a skirt and put it with a man's evening shirt. I thought very, again, a very seductive collection. He really kind of took you into his world, and it's a lovely place to be.
Ralph Lauren celebrated his 40th anniversary with a summer collection that gave a nod to My Fair Lady.
Ralph Lauren's 40th anniversary was a total extravaganza. It was a My Fair Lady fantasy, and it was really pretty. I mean, it opened with the black and white scene, like the movie My Fair Lady. It had jockeys' outfits and the most gorgeous flower garden dresses in silk chiffon, and there were these kind of dandy looks, like a turn-of-the-century gentleman. So you'd have a kind of fitted Spencer jacket, jodhpurs, waistcoat, top hat, a monocle even, a monocle. It was quirky and beautiful.
Ralph's aesthetic, I think he has romance, I think he has classic, I think he has fantasy, I think he has vision. He takes you on a journey that you too want to be a part of. He created a fantasy that made reality. It's not a fantasy, it is real.
Ralph is a master at making women always beautiful, and it's such modern classics, and his designs are timeless, and I just have always been a fan.
If you go anywhere else in the world, you say Ralph Lauren, it's the epitome of American fashion. I mean, it's really hard now to imagine American fashion without Ralph Lauren, and that's a sign that the impact's been big.
We're very proud. It's really an amazing accomplishment, especially in an industry where you're over in 2 months. He's been around for 40 years. It's quite amazing.
Ralph Lauren gave a very quintessential Ralph collection this morning. It's a theme that he's covered periodically in the past, but he always refreshes and puts a new spin on it. Today it was inspired, I think, by Ireland, or at least the British Isles.
Ralph, I mean, it was, classically Ralph, rich bohemian hippie girl, lots and lots of details. Like that Ralph woman, she goes back because, he delivers this very high quality, very sort of put together look, and I really appreciate that about Ralph.
And I think it was a perfectly measured collection. It was almost like the best of Ralph, but I love the boyfriend cardigan and the sweaters with the florals. I love the subtle little details of the superfine crocheted sweater, but under the chiffon dress. Signature Ralph, but a really nice move forward, I thought.
Ralph does his own thing, and that's what his customers come to him for. He comes back to themes that are somewhat like obsessions for him. He is at heart, I think, a great romanticist.
Ralph was very beautiful this morning. It was kind of in the continuing theme of like California dreaming, creamy and gold and sparkly, had beautiful accessories. But it really gives that feeling of like, oh, I just want to wear it now. Very summery, very free.
I think he does so well with Western themes. He moves from theme to theme each season, revisits the West now and then. And today, he really just pulled out all the stops. It picked up some of the trends of the season at the same time. This very neutral palette, lots of leather, very light dresses, like those very light cotton dresses that looked almost like they came from Little House on the Prairie. I thought those were fantastic.
Oh my God, it was beautiful. I think you never go wrong when you go to a Ralph show because he really sticks true to who he is. He really sticks true to his guns. And it was another classic Ralph Lauren collection. It was Americana, Santa Fe, all the fringe. But some of that evening fringe was reworked in such a beautiful way.
It looked like, pioneer days in a sense. You could really see the romance of that lifestyle without the hardship. I mean, it's like, it's perfect. You don't have to do all the work, and you can wear great clothes.
Nobody puts a show together as polished, refined, natural. The girls it always strikes me when I show how beautiful the girls are. Without too much going on, again, it looks very effortless. Just there's a kind of beauty and grace in Ralph's, in any collection Ralph does, and the way he puts it all together.
I think there's always a level of romance at Ralph Lauren shows. I always find I'm very enchanted by his take on fashion. It's always elegant and beautiful and sophisticated.
What I think Ralph is so good at is you can always rely on him to get the pieces of the season and then put them together in a very modern and desirable way. He realized that fashion is not existing in a vacuum, and so as we all look to China, you saw that spirit and that influence on the runway. But of course Ralph does it his way, so that would mean a beautifully cut double-breasted tuxedo worn under fabulous tapestry coat.
Even with the Asian influence, it never felt costumey. It never felt difficult to wear. It was really just refined in the most beautiful possible way.
Everything was impeccable, feminine, sexy, and really, really glamorous. I mean, it was Ralph Lauren's essence. There was Asian influences in the dresses and in some of the grooming and the embroidery. But it was sort of Asia seen through 30s glamour, like Hollywood, world of Susie Wong. I don't know if you've ever seen Ralph's car collection, but these models look like they should be driving or driven in one of his classic cars. They were as sleek and shiny as a vintage Bentley.
It's just a pleasure to go and see luxury done in such a smooth way.
Having designed costumes for the classic film, The Great Gatsby, who better than Ralph Lauren to revisit that lavish era?
I thought it was really beautiful. I love the kind of 20s glamour of it, and the color palette I thought was really fresh and young.
Obviously, very literally 20s and 30s inspired collection, very Great Gatsby. A lot of those pale, 1930s face powder pinks and bleached away pastels and platinums and white golds.
Pajama dressing, the idea of soft pastels, beautiful bias cut chiffon dresses and floral patterns, those cloche hats that gave it just that little bit of a 1930s nod and flutter sleeves.
I think it's what Ralph does so well. That Gatsby world is his world, and he evokes it very seductively and makes it look like a tempting proposition for a modern woman. It was very classic Ralph.
I think as an expression of poised elegance, you're not going to get much better.
Ralph is not a designer you judge. Ralph is a designer you observe to see where his head is this season. He knows his customer, he knows his work, he knows his talent. I don't worry when I sit down and watch a Ralph show. I'm going to see something that's pure Ralph Lauren. He's always true to himself, which is why his customers are ridiculously devoted.
He covered a lot of different moods in that show today, you know, starting with kind of the country gentlewoman. We in particular love that he's doing a little bit of Mad Leopard mixed back to his kind of country tweeds and plaids. That was a wonderful juxtaposition.
I loved the beginning of the show for all of its play with prints, leopard, plaids, all mixed up together, proving that yes, women can look dapper and also wear a tie and a cap.
The nod to kind of the menswear and the equestrian and the kind of little bit of Edwardian thrown in there, which is a trend that's running through New York Fashion Week. He's just obviously another talent that just doesn't seem to be stopping.
It makes it desirable. I mean, that's really what fashion's about. You can talk all about practicality for work and all that stuff and why certain clothes solve a problem. But the reality is that fashion's about desire. And that's what he never forgets.
Many shows you go to and you see a pretty dress or a great jacket, but Ralph tells a story. Ralph makes you understand the character of this woman and evokes emotional feeling when you go see the show. He weaves a story with clothes that make his shows unforgettable.